making of the video. Aria. Behind the scenes. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd switch it up and film in here for today. I thought the lighting would be a little better than it is in my room right now because there's kind of a glare and there's also a glare in here. I been like promising you guys I was gonna make this video for quite some time and I just have not gotten around to doing that. So I thought today I would sit down and talk to you guys about my student teaching and what that was like for me without going into too much detail, and also just like some tips for student teachers. So the first thing I do want to say, I was not like planning on making this video, and then I just thought, you know, I really do want to make a tips video for student teaching. So mostly this video is going to focus on that. My student teaching experience was not very positive. I didn't have a very good mentor teacher. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. It wasn't like very positive, but I loved my students and I loved working with them in the classroom, and yeah, so they kind of made it all worth it, which I guess is what teaching is all about. You teach because you just love to see their little minds grow and work, and they grow so much over the course of a year, and it's just so awesome to get to see them grow and learn. And I hope that any of you all that are student teaching right now all have like a really great mentors. I really hope and pray that you do, and that you really get a lot out of your student teaching, because I didn't really get a whole lot out of mine, again because of my situation. But also going in, I knew like everyone at my school, really, except for like the newer teachers, because I went to school at the school I student taught at, so that was really great, because going like straight out of college into your student teaching internship and into like the career field now, because I'm substitute teaching at the same school and like a couple of other schools in the area. But anyway, like going into it, like I already knew and had connections with so many different teachers, and you know, knew even some of the students. So yeah, it was just, that has been a blessing, is knowing people and having those connections. It's really made it a lot easier. I think my first tip for student teaching is just to have a planner and to plan everything that you do, like write down every assignment that you have. If you're like me, I went to Liberty University and I had to do the TPA, and that was very nerve-wracking and took up a lot of my time. I actually have a video about a TPA, and I'll link that below so you can watch that. I'm not gonna get like too much into that because I've talked about that several times on my channel, but I really had to balance my life, my personal life, and then my school life, because basically you're working you're working a full-time job and you're not getting paid. So that is just very, I don't know, it's just hard juggling school and then work and also your personal life. And you know, I found myself throughout my student teaching like having to say no to certain like things and hanging out with my friends, which I really wish I hadn't have done, because now we're all graduated and living in different places. So that is a regret that I have, and that is why my number one tip is to just have balance, and you know, get a planner and plan everything. I use the Happy Planner, the teacher one. Even though like I don't have a class of my own, I felt it was really helpful because it's like blocks, so you can plan each subject, which was very helpful when I was teaching. Because at Liberty, I don't know how it is at other universities and colleges, but at Liberty University, we were required to fully teach for 4 weeks, and then every week leading up to that, we'd pick up a new subject, and we would have to lesson plans. That was like 10-page TPA, like lesson plans, and then once we were fully teaching all subjects, we just had to block plan. So that was really nice. That would be like my tip number 2. is just to like get as much work that you can get done at school. Like I was in a kindergarten classroom and so there was not much time for downtime, but during planning time, even like sometimes we did have to eat in the room with the children for lunch, but even like, cause it's still, I guess, your lunch break, I would still like get on my computer and type, make lesson plans, and then I would also do that during dismissal time, because dismissal lasts like 45 minutes. So I had like from like 3:20 to like 4 o'clock to just sit and like, watch the kids, of course, but also like just sit on my computer and be able to plan. So I would just, suggest a tip is to get as much work as you can get done at school. Like, so I would get all my lesson planning done, or try to, by like Thursday, and then turn them into my cooperating teacher because she had to like sign off. But so by Friday, like my plans would be approved, and then I could just work on a TPA the rest of the week. Or usually I would have my plans done by Wednesday, honestly, and turn them into my teacher so she could look at them, and then I would just be doing a TPA for the rest of the week. So like as my homework when I got home, so I wasn't so overwhelmed trying to plan and trying to do a TPA at the same time. And I hope that's helpful for you. Just use as much of your time, your free time at school, which I know teachers get very limited time to even use the bathroom during the day. But, just use that time that you have to do work. And I think that's really going to help me a lot too when I'm in the classroom and I have my own classes. So like my whole plan is like not to have to do work when I get home, because I see so much about teacher burnout, and like I'm not even a teacher yet, but during student teaching I was feeling so burnt out on teaching, and I just think like finding that balance really helps. So yeah, those are two of my biggest tips. And I think another thing, it's important to stay organized while you're doing your student teaching. Like I had several folders. Like one folder was purple, and my purple folder was all like my stuff for my lessons and my lesson plans and everything like that. And so I would have all my like little worksheets or whatever for my lesson plan in that folder. And then I had a pink folder that was just a TPA stuff, and then like Liberty stuff, like forms that I had to get my cooperating teacher to sign and things like that. So that really helped me just to stay organized. And I also had like little stickers that I would carry around for the students, because again, I was in kindergarten and I used that as like a classroom management strategy. And I would give a child a sticker, like if I saw they were doing a good job, be like, good job, Johnny, and then I would give them a sticker. So I would do that really often, and they honestly really loved having the stickers. So that really helped a whole lot with classroom management. So if you could find something like that too, that will help you, because going in, like I'm not like, I guess, the biggest authority in a class, and it kind of like made it hard because I didn't have a very good like cooperating teacher on my side with the classroom management. It was always known as like she's the teacher, like not me, so that like didn't really help me too much, because I feel like it took me a while to get the children to respect me. But I think having like the stickers and having a system like that, repetitive clapping, or like 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, 1, 2, 3, eyes on you. I feel like that is really helpful to just establish that when you start actually teaching during your student teaching. And of course, like I would check with your CT, because like mine was not really on board with that. Like she let me do the stickers and that was fine, but it was really hard to teach them any kind of like repetitive clapping, like any strategy like that, just because she never like taught them that and wasn't consistent with it. So it's hard to like implement that when you're not in your own classroom. But that is just a tip for behavior management. If you're in like the lower grades that don't like have a clipboard system or like a clip up, clip down. I know it's really hard when you're young and you're first going into teaching to try and find a good classroom management strategy, and I'm still trying to find mine as a substitute. Overall, like I would say those are my biggest tips for student teaching. Right now, I'm still going to teacher interviews like with different schools and really trying to find somewhere for next year. Right now, I'm just substitute teaching, which has really helped. Like, I actually love substitute teaching because you just go into, you know, many different classrooms, and I'm kind of like seeing what I like and what I don't like, and yeah, really learning from like the plans the other teacher like leaves. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is so cool. Like I never thought about doing this before. So I really learned a whole lot, even more I think than in my student teaching experience. I've learned so much already from substitute teaching. So that's been really helpful because I like going to all the different grades and just getting a feel for how things are done in many different grades, because I was in kindergarten for my student teaching, and obviously like second grade, third grade is like totally different from kindergarten or first grade. So that has just been really helpful, and just having a community of like teachers that like veteran teachers that are behind you, like that really helped me during my student teaching. You know, leaning on other teachers that like weren't my CT, but teachers that I grew up with and that I know personally like would help me and give me advice when I needed it. So that was just very helpful. I feel like I would have been totally, completely lost without having that support system. But I really would not have made it without support, like community support of other teachers. And yeah, so that's just, you know, my take on student teaching. And if you are watching this video and you're about to start student teaching, good luck. It is so hard, but it's so worth it, because then you get to be a teacher and you get to have your own classroom. And you know what my student teaching experience really taught me was like what not to do. Like I know that sounds really bad, but it really taught me like being in the specific classes and like what not to do when I'm teaching, and like how I want my classroom to be run. Negative situations are a blessing because it can help you decide, you know, like this is not for me, or like this is not the way I would handle this situation. And so like as a teacher, when I have my own class, I will do this differently. So that was really helpful. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't change it for the world. I love my students and getting to work with them for a whole semester, because I didn't have 2 placements. Some people I know at Liberty had 2 placements, but I only had 1. And it was just, I don't know, I loved like seeing the children every day. No matter like how, you know, I was feeling, or like the situation was making me feel that I was in, the students made it all worth it. Like just to see the smiles on their faces and how excited they were that I was teaching them made it so worth it. And yeah, so that's just my biggest advice. I'm gonna stop rambling now, but I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video and it was just a little bit helpful. If you're starting student teaching, I will definitely see you guys in my next video. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. Whatever you're doing, make it going, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye guys.